For me, I think this is one of the problems that we will always have in South Africa, and also one of the problems we will never be able to deal with corruption. Okay, I want you to listen to this, right? And this is a very important point because this actually tells us tells us about the people that are appointed in these positions, especially the positions like NPA, IPID, all these investigative institutions, and the people that they appoint, women or men, all right, the people that they appoint, I don't know, guys. I don't think these are people that are ready for these positions. You know, it is good when people are appointed and people celebrate to say, yeah, maybe things will change now. Maybe things will be better. And when people get there, and when they're supposed to be doing exactly what is required of them, they are not doing it. Huh? When they're supposed to be answering questions, when they're supposed to be exposing. Because according to me, there's only one way. Let me say that again. There's only one way to expose corruption. It is if you expose people who are doing corruption. There's no way you can deal with corruption by just talking only and just being diplomatic. You focus and then you face corruption face to face and you are like, I'm going to expose it. And the corruption doesn't happen in the air. It is done by people. And for you to expose it, you need to expose the people. Just listen to what the NPA lady says. Just listen to her. And I know you've got different emotions. You've got different views out there. But I don't like what they are doing. Even Mr. Spear did the same thing. Let's go and you'll tell me what do you think about this.
To just briefly refer to that?
So, in terms of...
Just a moment, Honorable Skosana.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to make a seeking clarity question because the Advocate Batoy is saying he can't reveal the name here. But if it's the same person who was mentioned in the media, why not revealing it here? Because in the media, if as members here of the committee, and the South African, some people knows exactly what we are talking about, who's that person we are talking about. Why are we hiding it here? Thank you, Chair.
Advocate.
Chair, I will not want to hide anything from this committee. I regard it as a very important committee. But I do want to be responsible at the same time. I'm not sure who the person is that the honourable member is referring to. But even if the name is given to me now, I'm not going to make a comment about whether it is or isn't. It's not fair on the process. It's not fair on the person concerned. And this might turn out not to be true. We may not be able to verify this information. And then it destroys people's reputations and lives. And I think it will be hugely irresponsible for me at this stage, with just the bit of information that I have referred, to mention names in this House. So I would please ask the House to be understanding and not to insist that because I will not reveal the name, Chair, with all due respect.
Chair, the advocate says that he won't reveal the name, and he's not sure whether I'm talking about the same person. Do you know the name?
Chair, if I may ask the name of which person, the person in the media or the person in respect of whom the information was received?
No, the person you mentioned that is sitting at home, the prosecutor, which you said is sitting at home as we speak here.
I do.
But we are talking, you said you don't know that person.
No. It is not what she said.
Yes?
You alluded to knowing a person
The media is.
who might be on suspension because the report is in the media.
Yes.
And what we may have to check with her is whether the report that you have seen in the media and the report that she gives here are one and the same report or are two different reports.
Yes. Yes, no, I agree, Chair. And maybe if he said that, if he can say it, is it the same person, maybe she doesn't want to mention, but if it's mentioned in the media and it's the same person and he says it's a secret, for me that's a double standard. I mean, we deserve to know as well, formally so, not from the media, but if it's a different person, it's okay.
Yeah. She says for the purpose of professionalism. Honorable Malem.
No, thanks, Chair. I thought she was suggesting we must just go home if she's going to proceed like that.
Thank you.
Because we deal with names here.
Thank you.
What are we dealing with?
Heaven.
What are we dealing with here? We want to know who captured the criminal justice system. And if we can't be told names and we accept that, let's go home. Especially names that are out there. There is a prosecutor, I'm just forgetting the name of, is it Johannesburg or something, Pretoria, who's suspended by the president? Joburg, Chauge. What's difficult saying something like that? What's difficult saying something like that? If we're referring to Chauge, or if there is more, we need to know. There is nothing unprofessional about that, because if we're going to proceed like that, we're becoming toothless. We cannot allow a situation where there is an allegation of a prosecutor who is being captured or infiltrated, and we are told we can't be given a name. If it was wrongly mentioned, there are recourse in South Africa where that name will be cleared. There are so many names of people being said here, people who are also in jail, people who are already on criminal trials. We get deep into those issues because we're seeking to unearth the truth. If it is true, indeed, there are people who are captured in the prosecuting authority. We want to know that. What if Chauge is wrongly accused? What if he's correctly accused? We need to come to a determination that, look, there is nothing in the NPA that suggests there is any infiltration by the drug cartel or anything of that sort. Or there is, and if we say there is, these are the issues. And these are the individuals responsible for those kind of activities in the NPA. So I don't think Honorable Skosana is being irresponsible in that regard. Thanks.
Advocate.
Thank you, Chair. I really want to emphasize, honorable members, that I do not seek to be disrespectful.
Malema has got a point. Listen, this is where I'm standing on this thing, okay? I don't even care who says what. This is where I'm standing, right? The adult committee, you can even say Madlanga Commission. These two, whatever that I can call them, they are very important when it comes to people who want to say their piece. That means people who are ready to say, I'm going to expose corruption. All right? In Madlanga Commission, it's good. That's why I watch it. I watch it more than the parliamentary process. Because in the Madlanga Commission, people are exposing. They are mentioning names. They are speaking names. Because that's how you deal with corruption. That's why even in the Madlanga Commission, if you are mentioning a person, you say, this person, they will ask you, who is that person? Who is that person? And then you come to parliament. The same parliament that we think we can trust. The same parliament that we think we can say is the parliament of the people. It is where people are supposed to be hearing things. When you get there, and then you have somebody who comes into a platform, he is the head of the very important institution that is supposed to be protecting South Africans. And she comes there, she says, I am not going to mention names. Like, totally, I am not going to. Malema is saying, listen, it means what when we come here in this parliament, in this other committee, It's useless. And he's right, it's useless. I'm shouting because these things, they are coming up. I don't know what is going on with South Africans. I don't know what is going on with these people who are professional, who are in these positions. Malema says, this thing then, it's useless. It means when we come here, we are coming for nothing. It's just an exercise for people to just talk and talk, be diplomatic. When they're supposed to mentioning names, I'm not going to mention names because I don't want to, destroy the reputation of the people and everything like that and all of that and all of that. It's not about the reputation of the people. It's about exposing corruption. Eh? No, the reputation. What if the message or what if the information is wrong? Yay! Mr. Mkwanazi came there. And Mr. Mkwanazi, when he came there, he said some things about Mr. Kele's. I don't know whether it's Mr. He's supposed to come back now, Mr. Mkwanazi, and actually rectify the mistake if there is a mistake. Alright? And then he's going to apologize if he has to apologize. Because that's how we expose corruption. Wrong or right, you need to expose. Because that's how corruption is exposed. Guys, I'm very sorry. This is wrong. Totally wrong. That's why I said in the beginning of the video, this is why we won't be able to overcome corruption. Because people hide things. Mr. Spear did the same thing. He was accusing people in the PKTT to say the PKTT, they have received this and that, and blah, 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 I think, and all of that, and blah, blah. And then they are saying to him, give us names, my guy. And then he's like, no, I'm not going to give you names right now. Meaning, I'm not going to mention names. And then the chairperson is suggesting to say, okay, you will submit. Submit what? Because if you submit, that list that you are submitting, it might land it in the wrong hands. And when it lands in the wrong hands, the names can be taken out there. And then it's modified, and then people, and even some people in the parliament, you will never trust anyone. No, we will submit. Submit for who? You need to say, Mr. Mkwanazi, go to a press conference on TV, national TV, and maybe in the world TV, exposing things there. And he was not exposing things to say, there was a guy, I'm not going to mention names. There was a minister, I'm not going to mention names. No, he exposed people mentioning names. When you go to Madanga Commission, they are naming names. That's how you expose corruption. This is why the processes of parliament, they end up the way sometimes they end up. It's because of such things. The chairperson is trying to protect, even. I know, relax. The person must mention names. The fact that you spoke about this thing, you need to mention names. Even the minister, the minister of police, interim minister of police, they are saying name the public protector. That was a problem. I don't want to name names. Why are you doing that? What are you doing there in that position? These type of positions, guys, they need people who've got livers. Abantu abanesibindi. Yes, sometimes I wish we can multiply Abo Mkwanas and multiply them and put them in all these positions. Because you guys, you lack this thing of saying, you claim to say, we are doing it for the people, saving the people, the people. When you're supposed to be doing it in front of the people, then you are not doing it. You want to do it in the corners. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is not the time to brush feelings. Okay? It's either you are in or you are out. It's either you ship it or you ship out. Alright? Or you ship up or it's either you shape up or you ship out. Whatever the quote is. Nah. You guys will make us shout, man. Yes, I'm listening. And the way she's speaking, even you can tell that she actually planned this thing to say, I'm going to be professional, even if there are things that I know, I'm just going to speak like this. In Parliament. Parliament is for people, Baba. We listen to that thing and we comment on that thing. We make videos on that thing. And if you come there and you are going to be protecting people because this is protecting people. And anyway, let me not talk too much, but for me, I don't know how we're going to solve corruption. The people who are supposed to be exposing, people who are supposed to be preventing corruption, expose this thing so that it is known. I'm not going to mention names, blah, blah, blah. They telling him, the person, what if the person is in the person is the, unless you are there, then you can say it and say, the person that you are talking about in the media, it's not the same person I'm talking about. Then I would understand. Miss, I'm disappointed, man. I'm disappointed.
To disrespectful to this committee. I haven't even said, the members have mentioned names. I haven't even said whether it is or isn't that name that has been mentioned. And I will not, I don't want to make it difficult for this House to be able to do its work. But given that I was given, I think what at the level of intelligence, because I haven't even said it's evidence. I went back to the National Commissioner as well as General Khumalo and I said, can you please give me evidence of this? Because I need more evidence. And so I really urge that it will be hugely irresponsible of me to mention a name in this House
You shouldn't have
on the
come.
basis of intelligence that
You
I've
shouldn't have
received
come, Chef.
that may or may not be true. So I really urge honorable members to understand that I do want to help this House, but I do not want to put people's names at risk. For various reasons, you never know how people are put at risk. I mean, and we don't know whether it was a direct consequence of what happened in this House, but you know that our chief investigator of the IDAC was attacked a day or two after his name was mentioned in this House. But one might say, look, he is the chief investigator, it's not difficult, that you shouldn't really draw that conclusion. I will understand that as well. But it does put people at risk, and I do not want to be irresponsible and do that when all I've received is intelligence about the possibility that someone, well, about the fact that somebody is involved with organized criminal
You
networks.
guys, you are proving us that you are
Thank
in
you,
the
Chair.
wrong positions. The positions you are in, it's wrong. You can't speak
Honorable
like that,
Ngcola.
huh?
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, we have evidence before us that there are rogue sections within the
Oh,
NP,
Lord have mercy, my goodness me.
which suggests that we must dig deeper to look into the allegations.
Just don't understand, man.
And part of what has been a modus operandi of this ad hoc chair was that names must be given to the committee so that it is actually assisted in formulating a finding and recommendations. From the evidence of General Mkhwanazi, whom part of it is what he termed as an intelligence information. So we have been, for example, Chair, General Mkhwanazi stood in front of this ad hoc committee and said, him and General Khumalo went to the Minister of Police to brief him that General Sbiya is a rogue element within SAPS in terms of intelligence information. So I'm trying to display, Chair, that this is not the first time we're dealing with the situation of this matter. And I'm trying to make the NTPP comfortable to mention the name of the person that she's referring to. It is not certainly a finding or a guilty decision if you mention the name.
Exactly.
Part of what we've been placed on here, Chair, is that there is an evidence General Mkhwanazi even brought to the committee and later withdrew some parts of that evidence, and it was acceptable.
Exactly.
So I want Chair, the NTPP to feel comfortable to provide the necessary finer detail of the evidence he's giving before the committee. Thank you very much.
Oof, Lord have mercy. Please, man, please. Can you do us a favor here, man?
Oh, Honorable Mathis.
Oof.
Sorry.
Thank you, Chair. Just to add on, number one, within our terms of reference, as a committee, I know this is an open, it's an open hearing at the moment, but we do have an option of a closed session. I'm not saying that we need to go there. We cannot have, we are wasting our time if we are not getting names. We're also going to leave, and when we go through our deliberations, we are going to say our National Director of Public Prosecutor gave testimony, but we have no proof. Because this thing of having classified intelligence reports is something that is so old that we've heard. I mean, if we go back, even in the history of Parliament, so many decisions have been made on intelligence or classified intelligence reports that we've never seen, we don't know. So we need to make a decision on if this thing is like that high profile, do we take it into a closed session? But I don't think it is that serious, Advocate. On a very serious note, there are many people that have come, they've been cleared and they've cleared their names, but we are definitely wasting our time if we are going to be protecting individuals who, number one, have already, you've said they've been suspended. That means there has been action that has been taken.
Thank you.
And I don't think our citizenry is that stupid or not to be able to put it in context that this is still under investigation and they're currently being suspended. We're also undermining the intelligence, both of this committee and South Africans at large. Thank you.
We know it's under investigation.
Honorable James.
We know it's suspended. It's not like we
Thank you, Chair. Advocate, you've just mentioned that you don't trust crime intelligence. Am I right? Earlier on, you've said that you don't trust crime intelligence, and now we are expected as South Africans and as this committee to trust crime intelligence. The purpose of this ad hoc committee is basically for show and tell. We want those names, and I don't think we're going to be okay today with leaving here because everyone else's names, and I don't want to repeat what my colleague has just said. We've mentioned names of all other people that's implicated in this, and the words that were used was allegedly involved. I'm not sure why we can't do the same here today.
She always looks on point.
Advocate Batoy.
Thank you, Chair. Firstly, I want to make a correction. I didn't say I don't trust crime intelligence. I said there were people across the system that we couldn't trust. We don't know who to trust. Actually, not specific people that we don't trust. The way I said it is, I said you don't know who to trust. So, just to clarify that. Chair, I hear what the committee members are saying. It has always been the position that when we are investigating, we do not give names of anyone that is the subject of an investigation. From the NPA, we only mention the name of a person in any media report or publicly after the person has appeared in court. That is the only time we mention. We do not even mention that people are the subjects of investigation. Names are never mentioned by the NPA generally. That is our policy, and that is to protect people. I don't want to protect criminals, of course, but we live in a constitutional democracy, and we must protect the rights of people, even if you are the subject of an investigation. And I hear what the honourable members are saying about the fact that other names have been mentioned by other people that have appeared before the committee. I don't know whether that's right or wrong.
Then how about you guys make it very easy, which is true, if a person is, especially if a person is suspended, that means a person is suspended, that means a person is investigated, right? Those people that have been investigated, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very sorry, for transparency. And so that there are no things that are done in the background that are going to jeopardize whatever that you are doing. You expose those names. You tell that you are investigating this and that person, whatever. Obviously, when they go to court, again, they get acquitted. They are found not to be guilty. They are found not to be whatever. And then it's not like we are dumb to say that when a person is not found guilty, that we will decide to say, he's guilty. No. We will know that the person is acquitted. There was no evidence, there was no this. And then we understand we are not dumb. I'm not talking about people who will be busy at all. We will listen and we will see what is happening there. And the good thing also that will happen there is the fact that if you expose your investigations, not even exposing everything, but like you come and make a press conference, we are investigating this and that, this person and this person and this person, so that we know, so that at least we know when there are shenanigans that are happening, we will be able to see what there was something here. And when a person goes to court and then they are acquitted, great, wonderful. It's not like we will go around and be like, yeah, no, we will understand. But this thing of you, and I know you will say to us, we are not protecting criminals, we are not protecting anyone. But by virtue of doing that, to say, we are not mentioning names. Nah, guys, come on. It's funny that sometimes, you know, I don't know what is going on in South Africa, but listen, I am telling you right now, as long as we are going to go on the line that we are going on, trust me, we will never be able to deal with corruption to the core. Okay? We will only talk about it and be angry. Just like we are busy here making videos, getting angry. It will end there. Because the people who are in the core of it, they are afraid to say things. It's our policy to say we don't mention names. What if a person jeopardizes the case? You come to the press conference there, you are telling us to say, yeah, no, you know, we were investigating. In our investigation, we find out that there was some interference, there was some problems there. There were people who were interfering with the case. That is why the case didn't go through. We will solar you. We will look at you and be like, ma'am, because you are not exposing. Can we have transparency here, please? Please. When a person is accused, When a person is suspended because there are allegations, you tell us the allegation, so and so was suspended because of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are still investigating. Simple as that. We're hiding names. You will end up hiding. Let me be quiet. Because you guys, you are making us
But I know the committee wants to do its work and wants to get to the bottom of this.
It's not the committee,
Maybe the
it's
idea of
about
a
the
closed
people.
session is not such a bad one.
Oh, Lord.
Because it is at the level of intelligence, and I think it will be hugely irresponsible of me to mention the name of a person. You know, it's easier said than done. We can sit here and say, you know, there have been allegations and people have been cleared, but these things destroy people's lives. And as prosecutors, we have a lot of power to make these decisions that affect people's lives in a very real way.
Exactly.
And I've always implored upon prosecutors to please take your responsibility seriously. The impact of our decisions impact people's lives. So we must make the right decisions and make sure we have the evidence when we make a decision to prosecute. But that is taking it to another level. At this level where we are here, when we make a decision to prosecute, we have a lot of evidence already. Here I'm in a situation where all I have is the flimsiest bit of intelligence with a name that may or may not be true. And I still urge and I ask the committee to respect that. I cannot say it in an open platform where the many people of South Africa are listening. And I want the people of South Africa to understand that I don't mean to be disrespectful to you at all. And this committee. I really want to be responsible and not destroy even a single life. It's one too many. So I unfortunately cannot say it in this open platform, Chair.
I want you to help us here. Because you give us a report here that the official is on suspension. Is that correct?
That's correct, Chair.
And then this suspension, who effected the suspension?
Chair, if I give details about this, it could reveal the identity of a person, and it becomes if you say enough about something that actually reveals the identity, it's the same as saying a name. So I really want to urge that I can say things in a closed session, as I said. I'm
Yeah,
happy to consider that.
I hear what you are saying, advocate. You know, if you start investigations, because you want to discover certain things, you can say now, because we are still at a stage where we are investigating, we may not want to jeopardize the process. But if you investigate and reach a stage where you make a decision to say, Lakhanyan, we now come to a point where we suspend you.
Thank you, man.
You-
I mean, I don't
You are
understand.
acting in public office, isn't it?
Hey, Mr.
Chair, for the sake of clarity, I didn't say the person was suspended for this issue.
You see now. Amen.
But the person is on suspension. Yes, that is exactly what I'm saying, that if you act in public office, any decision that is taken it's an administrative act, isn't it? And for sure you should be able to explain that decision, unless you were to say to us, like, you know, when we administered oath here, the law says you are expected to answer any question fully and satisfactorily, and failure to do so, you may be committing an offense. And if there was a law that prevents you to do that, maybe it will be advisable to you to say, I'm mindful of the oath that I've taken, but there is this law that prevents me.
You know,
Because when you act in public office, the other arm of that action is accountability. You should be able to account on the decisions that you have taken, especially that, I mean, the suspension of a person or removal of a person from office is in public interest. I mean, the public wants to know why this person
suspended.
is no longer in office.
And who is that?
How has it happened? Is this decision arbitrary or is it justified? If you understand what I'm saying, it's not like you are still investigating. A decision has already been taken to suspend the person. So what is it that makes it difficult to you, advocate, to say the person who is suspended is Soviet Lakhanyan?
Chair, I said that the person is not suspended for these allegations. And if I mentioned anything more about it, it may become clear who the person is. And for that reason, I do not want to say anything more about it. Chair, I would think that the Constitution actually requires me to act fairly when we take decisions. And this, in my view, is being fair to someone who may or may not be implicated in organized
And it's
criminality.
one
But of
person.
course, the matter
Just
is under
1%.
investigation. Those allegations have been referred and they are being investigated.
Sure. I get.
Can I check honorable members who want to speak on this matter? Honorable Skosana, Honorable Ngola, Honorable Nomvalo, Honorable Malema.
Thank you, Chair. I'm sorry, SC. Perhaps.
Honorable Sols will be the last.
Oh. I'm sorry, to have, because there was a nice questioning to advocate. I never thought this matter is so complicated. But in my view, names have been mentioned. The president has suspended someone, which perhaps, maybe there's another ones who are suspended, some prosecutors, fine. But I don't think it's right, advocate. Because where to draw the line? When things are genuine or are not genuine, where do we draw the line? Because this committee sits here to probe these issues. The allegations which were made by General Mkwanazi. Hence we are here. We are not casting aspersion to anyone. But we want the truth. But if it's an animal farm, names were mentioned here. No one ever complains about names being mentioned here. It's for the first time for me, from hearing from you as a national director of public prosecution. When you talk about people's life being destroyed, I can tell you, don't go there. Because he invokes pains to many South Africans.
National Director of Public Prosecution. Public prosecution. That means the public must know what is happening. The public must know what is going on because you are representing the public. You know
who have lost their lives, others their livelihood because of the NPA. Some are still being prosecutors, for many years. Their cases are still in court. But we are going to come to those questions to you at a later stage. But for now, it was only about the name. Because the media has made those names. But we don't want to rely on the media because we are here. We don't want to have the merits of the case.
I don't want
Thank you, Chair.
to debate the question. I want to hear you. What are you saying on this matter?
I'm sticking to my earlier question. Thank you, Chair.
That the name must be revealed.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair. It does.
You know what? I think next time when they do these headed committees, they must change these political parties. Meaning, the political parties, when they come to parliament, on the committee of the ad court, they don't wear their t-shirts. They don't wear their MK party things. They don't wear their AFF things. They don't wear their DA things. They don't wear their whatever. They come with their own clothes because these people, when they testify, they look at these people with their party, what is the term? With their clothes there. And then they're thinking, these guys, they've got agenda. Why do they want a name and everything like that? They must come with their clothes now, so that at least when they look at them, they can see that they are serious. Because it seems like they are otherwise. I'm very sorry, because I told you guys that when it comes to this thing of parliament, when people are seeing people wearing their own clothes, their own party clothes there, already in their minds they are thinking, these ones, they are going to attack me because they want to discredit me. They must come with their clothes. No. I'm making a rule for you. Come with your clothes so that you wear your suits there. You get there so that when they look at you, just like when they do it there at the judiciary, when they do interviews. Malima there, when he goes there, he doesn't go with his EFF. He goes with in here. They must do that. Just for the ad court committee. Just to deal with these issues. Because it seems like, anyway, it's okay. But,
Look like the NDPP is putting a barometer or a barrier in that they can only disclose the name of the person once that person appears before court, which I presume that she means the first appearance. Chair, given the fact that we have agreed to seek for an extension as the Hoc Committee, I think for progress' sake, let's say we will require the NDPP or anyone who will be at the helm of NPA before we consolidate the report to submit a written report specifically on that particular aspect. So that we proceed for now, but the committee must not be disadvantaged in collating necessary evidence so that that particular evidence informs what the committee finds in its findings and recommendations. So I propose, Chair, that before the committee does its winding up report, that evidence must have been sent through a written report to the committee. Thank you very much.
backgrounds.
No, thank you very much, Chair. No, Chair, we just want to make a clear statement that if the NDPP continues to refuse to reveal a name, it means she is not cooperating to an investigation. because here we're not doing oversight. This is not a justice committee being chaired by Honorable Ngola, where you give annual reports. We're doing an investigation, and names have been tabled before this committee. Names of people who have not even been charged. Just names of people who do not appear before any disciplinary committee. So it means you don't have confidence in this committee. Two, you are undermining our intelligence. What adverse impact is it going to have if you tell us that a person is so and so? There will be no adverse impact other than an impact that is imaginary. We are just imagining that there will be an adverse impact if you mention names. How? So we are going to understand you to be refusing to cooperate with this committee if you refuse to give us names. Yeah, we are investigating, so you can't tell us how we should investigate. We can't be told by you. We have terms of reference. We know what we are doing here. So don't undermine our intelligence. Chair, I'm in support of what Honorable Skosana is saying, that the name must be revealed to help our investigation, to pursue our investigation, because that name might be relevant for us to take a certain posture with regards to this investigation. So you are refusing to give more insight about issues which are affecting our justice system if you refuse to give us a name. And we are not just asking from an ordinary person. You are the NDPP with a statutory responsibility to oversee the running of the NPA. And you come here and refuse to give us names as if it's a choice. It's not a choice. We're investigating you. We're investigating the allegations, I mean. And if we say give us names, unless you are telling us that you are refusing, then we're going to note it as such. We're going to write it down that you are not cooperating with this investigation. Thank you.
Honorable Malemo.
Chair, NDPP must know that she's got a duty to protect this country more than individuals.
You know?
You can't say, I want to protect individual because of their rights and all of that. A rotten NPA, it's very dangerous to our constitutional democracy she speaks about. A rotten NPA is dangerous to the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. So you cannot protect an individual over the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. Just her failure to respond to this question, she must take a bag and go. She's not going to be useful to us.
Exactly.
We are asking names. That's why we are here. We are told there are people who kept people is names. Who are those people? We want names of drug cartels. We want names of corrupt police. We want names of corrupt judges. We want names of corrupt prosecutors. That is the whole idea of us being here. So you call a witness, when she left home, she left saying she's going to do what here? She's coming to read a policy statement in an inquiry. Yeah, we even discuss boardroom. We're discussing a pillow talk. Yeah. Yeah. That's how far we go. Now we're being told no, just a name. We can't be given a name of a prosecutor who's suspended. I know that there is a prosecutor called Chauke in Gauteng who's put on a special leave or suspended by the President of the Republic of South Africa. It is the President who communicated that publicly.
Exactly.
What is so difficult for an NDPP to refer to such a case and say, for instance, we've got this case that is on, but I can't give details. This is what it involves. A lot of people came here and said so. This is a public information. But to come and say, I won't give you names, even on matters that are public, that is having taken a conscious decision that I'm not going to cooperate with them and I'm going to show them that they can't do anything. She's completely undermining us. To put it mildly, she's undermining us, and she left her home having taken a decision to come and undermine us here. What is so secret about telling us about a public prosecutor of a public prosecution? Everything is public there, except when you are dealing with the case. It says I will give you a name when a person appears in court. The person that we're speaking about, for instance, Chauke, he's not going to go to court.
Exactly.
It's an inquiry that is on. The president is investigating a particular conduct, wrongly or rightfully, I don't know. So it means we'll never hear that name Chauke in this committee because he will never have a first day appearance in a criminal court. What happens? There is an internal, inquiry that the president has constituted. The head of NPA must know about that, must be comfortable to speak about it. And the refusal to speak about such an incident is to say, I'm not going to cooperate with you. Actually, the allegations goes further, which we are going to probe later when it is our turn to ask questions. They say, after they arrested advocate Chauke, they are able to register cases easily. That's what SAPS says.
You know?
And cases are moving smoothly in Gauteng. Is that true? We want to get into those issues, but if the head of NPA is going to shy away from that, then which issue are we going to deal with? Which we need prosecutors who are cooperating with drug cartels.
Thank you, Honorable Malema. Honorable Sauls.
Chair, indeed, advocate is required to give us names. It is true.
But
However, it is not true that names has been given in this committee. We still don't know the names of 3 out of the big 5. Why? Because the witness stated that it is under investigation and the names will be revealed, and it can be revealed in camera. It can be revealed in a closed session. So we must be honest about this, that it is true that advocate must give us the names. But the question is not must you give us the names or not. You must give us the names or name. But the question is how? Which platform? What is the requirement for you to give it in closed session? If we go by what has happened in the past in this committee, the statement was, I cannot reveal in public the names of the other 3 of the big 5, even though the committee wants to know, and that's what we are investigating. It's because it's still under investigation. You testified, advocate, that the person you are referring to is suspended, but the suspension is not connected to the allegations that you are referring to. In other words, whatever you are referring to is still under investigation. And it is for that reason that you don't want to publicly reveal the name, if I understand you correctly. This then satisfies the same requirements that was put forward before. Where I will disagree with you, advocate, is if we say to you, you must reveal the name, but you must reveal it to us in closed session because it is still under investigation, and you refuse at that point, then I will disagree with you. Because that would be you intentionally hampering us from doing our work. But if you are willing to reveal the name in closed session, that would be in line with our terms of reference. So, Chair, I support the position that the advocate must reveal the name. But if the advocate opts to do so in closed session, that is in line with our terms of reference, and she should be allowed to do that. Thank you, Chair.
Advocate,
you see, these are the things that I was talking about. These are the things that I was talking about. From the first place, For me, I believe they were supposed to allow people, make people to mention names. Guys, come on, guys. We cannot be doing things like this, okay? Even with Spear, he was not supposed to submit names. He was supposed to name names there in public. From the beginning of this whole thing, they were supposed to do it like that because they have to be consistent. But now the problem is Mr. Scholz is using the same thing that they did to say, yeah, because of the investigation, whatever, we cannot, he cannot reveal, we will do it in closed doors for who? Because the closed doors, they are suspicious even. The closed doors thing that you do. And even the submission of names, it's suspicious, guys. Guys, if you are going to be dealing with public office or public institution, public whatever, you claim it represents people, it's supposed to be public. Everything must be public. I don't know what is that. What is it that people don't understand? And I don't understand why. Yes, oh Lord. Anyway, it's okay, man. What can we say? It's politics, right? It's fine.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I understand the need for the members to hear the names, and we all need to hear them. Advocate Batoy has made it quite clear that the person she is referring to has not necessarily been suspended for the facts that we are now talking about. And she doesn't have control over the investigation, and the other agencies that are involved in, obviously involved in such an investigation.
So the person that's supposed to be mentioned is not investigated for the same issue that they are talking about there. Okay, so according to what I'm thinking, okay, because we don't know who you are investigating. Unfortunately, ma'am, you were supposed to mention the name even in the beginning. Because we don't know that is investigated for. There is another issue the person is investigated for. That means you can just say the name and you don't talk about that case. Simple. You mention the name, you don't talk about that case. All right? I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, but I think Ms. Batoy was not even supposed to go there. He was not even supposed to go and talk about it. In fact, talk about that person. I don't know how it was going to look, but unfortunately now we are here. Yeah, in South Africa, it's a nice country there. It's fine, my boy, it's fine.
And so for her to sit here and publicly name people could not only undermine the investigation, but it could also undermine other agencies who are busy with important work. And so I would agree that she must be fully open and honest with this committee, but not in an open forum. And for the sake of progress, I think we should move on with everything else and then deal with this issue at the end, and in a closed forum. Thank you, Chair.
Do it in the close again.
Honorable Sangwa.
Do it in the close. What can we do?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. No, I think I've generally been covered by all the members who spoke, and I align myself with the recommendation on the closed session.
Do it.
Chair, because we were discussing this matter and we don't need an answer now, I can wait until we're questioning. But I'm hoping that Advocate Batoy is also going to give us the reasons why she recommended to the President that Advocate Chauke be suspended.
Exactly.
I would appreciate that we get that. Thank you.
Exactly. She must reveal everything. This is a public thing, please, guys. Let's not get it twisted, okay? Oh.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. One, I actually wanted also to align myself with the shall I call the demand by this committee for the name to be actually mentioned. However, I do want to support Honorable Ngola in the proposal that he made, namely that perhaps at the end of this process, the NPA, whether it would still be Advocate Batohi or the new one, be able to actually supply us with the information related to the matter that we are dealing with right now including the name. But I also am not comfortable if the advocate simply refuses to give the name, because names have actually been mentioned here. And Mkwanazi did not actually beat about the bush in saying categorically that within the NPA, there are elements that have actually compromised the operations of the criminal justice system. So we cannot be overprotective of individuals, because we might be protecting the very element that we need to know about and deal with. Thank you.
Exactly, Baba. Oh.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. I was going to propose just a short adjournment for Advocate Batoy to confirm with Council to consider making the disclosure in camera. Thank you.
No, I will grant you that time during the break, because I think we should go ahead with the work of the committee. Advocate, I think you hear the sentiment of the committee, that the committee, one of its terms of reference, which we read to you this morning, is that it is also investigating alleged corrupt relationship between officials in public institutions in the criminal justice system and members of the public. And if we are going to successfully do that work and report to Parliament, but also when I carefully listened to you when you made your opening statement, you say this ad hoc committee and the commission, the work that they do provide an opportunity for Parliament to make necessary interventions in the strengthening of the law that we have. So it's going to be very important that we have. Remember, the reason why we want the names is we have to decide on the witnesses that we invite before us here.
Exactly.
And if we don't have those names, all these witnesses, the reason why the committee said the first witness must be General Mkwanazi was because we couldn't just sit like this and throw the bones on the floor and the bones will say there is an elephant here, there is a lion here, there is a porcupine here, you must call them before. General Mkwanazi came here and named institutions and mentioned names of officials, and we were able to make decisions on who we must invite, who must be a key witness, who is secondary witness, and the order in which those witnesses must appear before the committee. So I will take solace to what the SC says, that during the break, I mean, when you come back from the break, you will give an answer as to how that name is going to be made available to the committee. And in this regard, I would like us to continue with the proceedings. Is that fine with you, Advocate?
Chair, it's a good first step. I will certainly confer with Council during the break. Whether we'll be able to come back immediately or whether I need to get a proper legal opinion on this is something we will consider. But I really want to assure this House I do want to cooperate with this House. And I certainly do not want to be disrespectful. This is important work, as you put out. So we will certainly look at how we can best deal with this issue. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Advocate Batoy. Can we perhaps just explore this very issue?
You know what? That's why it's just like a movie, okay? That's why you've got in the movie, you've got tsotsis, you've got criminals, you've got all these things, right? And then you've got starings. You've got those people that are heroes, right? People who are fighting, looking at the criminality, looking at the tsotsis on the faces and fight them. Unfortunately, in South Africa, we are lacking that. We don't have that. When people are supposed to do that, nah, they stay at the back. They don't want to mention names. They don't want to say this. They don't want to expose. They want to go through the what as if like you were told to do this, to do that. You know, that's why we are here. The reason why we are experiencing what we are experiencing in corruption, it's because of these same reasons. These same things that are done. People are not exposing people. When there is an investigation, people are quiet. They are not exposing. When they do testifying, they're testifying when they're supposed to saying things. They are not saying things because they are protecting people. You may not say, I am not protecting anyone, I'm not protecting any criminality, but by virtue of you not wanting to mention names, because you know whatever, there is no law that tells you not to mention names. As per what the chairperson said. There is nothing like that. All you gotta do is to just, you don't have to say, no, we are investigating the person in this matter. No, as she said, we are not talking about the person is not suspended for the same matter. You are not supposed to actually go there, even if you think that you are not going to mention their names. But you will be asked by the parliamentarians. There is this thing here, this thing here, if you don't mention it. Guys, come on, ladies and gentlemen. You want to deal with corruption? It's about exposure, Baba. There's nothing else you can do. No way you can do it except exposing people. Corruption is deep, guys. Deep. And I can promise you right now, if you are not exposing, quiet, sitting there, we are just investigating. Who? We cannot say. The next thing the person disappears. The next thing that the person, we don't know where he went. We don't know what happened to the case. The case, you come give it. Anyway, it's fine. You want to roll like that? It's okay. It's okay. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, do what you gotta do. All right? Thank you so much, guys. We are out.